This is our Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurating the 112 feet Adiyogi statue built by Jaggi Vasudev's Isha Foundation. The man to the left is Jaggi Vasudev, who is popularly known as Sadhguru. And if you don't know who he is, congratulations, but no offense intended. To tell you in brief, Jaggi Vasudev is a spiritual instructor, spiritual leader, a self-proclaimed mystic and a millionaire monk. He is famous for his views, for his meditative techniques, and owns a company called the Isha Foundation. We do not, however, want to talk about his personal views, his spiritual views. We are more interested to talk about his empire, his company, which is the Isha Foundation. Let's go back to the statue, the Adiyogi statue built by Sadhguru. What if I tell you that this statue, this huge statue which was inaugurated by our Prime Minister, is illegally built? What if I tell you that Isha Foundation's entire campus and its headquarters, built in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, is built illegally on lands originally meant for elephants and tribals? And what if I tell you that Isha Foundation is involved in a classic case of tax frauds? And what if I tell you that I can prove all of these accusations using official government records? You may love Sadhguru or hate him, but this video is not about his personal teachings, his views. In this video, I will include no opinion on his political or spiritual views, but this video is more about how he built his empire, his illegalities in construction, and the tax frauds which the company has committed. All by the paper, all hard facts. Let's get started. My name is Ishan Fauzdar and you are watching The Upfront. At the onset, I would like to make it clear that if you do not know who Sadhguru is, it's okay, it's not a big deal. Just so you know, Sadhguru is a spiritual leader, a spiritual teacher who has a lot of political opinions, who has political support, and who owns a big empire called the Isha Foundation. Now, Isha Foundation is a company which is established in United States and has an annual income of 56.43 crore rupees. Now, this number might seem big, but it is very misleading, and I'll tell you why at the end of this video. Isha Foundation runs many other small ventures under it, such as Isha Foods and Spices, Isha Arogya, Isha Crafts, Isha Institute of Inner Sciences, etc, etc, etc. The entire list should be on your screens. So, big company, very big money, a modern monk who speaks English and has a lot of political support. That's all we need to start the video. Also, most of this video is based on 3 investigative reports published by News Laundry on Isha Foundation, on Sadhguru's Isha Foundation. While I will refer to those reports in this video, the links to those reports are in the description. You should go and read them for yourself as well. The Isha Foundation headquarters is located in Ikkarai Bolampatti at the foothills of Veliangari Hills in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Quite big name, but we only need to understand the importance of the foothills of Veliangari Hills. One does not need a master's degree in geography or ecology to understand that the foothills of any mountain is rich in flora and fauna, is home to a large number of plants and animals, and therefore is ecologically sensitive. For our case, the Ikkarai Boluvampatti contains the Boluvampatti Forest Reserve, which is a home to a habitat to animals conserved under the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Because this area is ecologically sensitive, construction in this area is regulated by HACA, which is the Hill Area Conservative Authority. Therefore, under law, construction of over 300 square meters in this area cannot be done without permission from HACA. After understanding this, let's count down the legal violations of Isha Foundation's construction in this area. Violation number 1. Isha built a campus spanning 63,380 square meter and also built an artificial lake spanning 1,406 square meter without permission from Haka. Remember, construction in these areas cannot be done without the permission of Haka, but Isha went ahead with it and the official documents show the same. In fact, Isha admits this in its official website and says that it could not go ahead with the construction because of a personal vendetta of an officer. Isha also claims that it took permission from the village panchayat for constructing in an area of around 38,000 square meter. But we need to understand that the panchayat, the local panchayat, does not have the power, does not have the authority to give such a permission. The second violation of Isha Foundation came in the form of encroachment of elephant corridors. Now in 2011, Isha went to Haka for the approval of its previously illegally constructed area of 63,000 square meters and also asked for approval to construct in a new area of 28,582 square meters. To inspect the following, the then forest officer of Coimbatore went to Isha's ashram, Isha's headquarters to inspect and found that Isha had already started construction in the new area of 28,000 square meter which it had asked permission for. Isha had already started building in an area it had asked permission for illegally. Following this, the officer also observed that Isha had built walls on elephant corridors, which was making elephants take different routes, and hence elephants were turning upon fields on farms and which was leading to increased farmer elephant confrontation. Due to these reasons, Isha's application was rejected by Haka, but Isha had already started building and had already built in the area it asked approval for, all illegally. This forest officer who rejected Isha's application was transferred just after 4 days, and let me tell you that this officer was not the only one who pointed out Isha's encroachment of elephant corridors. After this, another forest ranger wrote to the forest officer stating that Isha's constructions were on elephant corridors, were on lands through which elephants travelled, and because of the obstruction of these lands, elephants were taking different routes and turning upon fields of farmers, which was leading to farmer elephant confrontations. This was putting the life of both the elephants and the farmers in danger. In addition to this, there were also images of elephants being electrocuted by the electric fences being raised by Isha on elephant corridors, elephant lands. Although now, in 2021, Isha claims that it has no construction in the elephant corridor, in the elephant lands, and it can claim so because in 2020 the forest authorities changed their stance about Isha's encroachment of elephant corridors. In 2020, the forest authorities stated that Isha's constructions were adjacent to elephant corridors and not on it. We do not understand, we do not know the reason for a change of this stance, but we know that in 2012 and from 2012 there were numerous notices, letters and reports which pointed at Isha's construction of the elephant corridors. We now come to violation number 3 of Isha Foundation, which again pertains to illegal constructions. Again, Isha wanted to build 33 new buildings in the Ikarai Boluvampatti region, but these buildings were to be used for religious purposes, and under Tamil Nadu planning law, such buildings are marked as public buildings, and to construct such buildings you need the prior permission from the district collector and the district director. Isha again did not take permission from the competent authority. Isha again went to the village, to the local panchayat for permission, which does not have the power to give such a permission. In 2011, Isha eventually again reached out to the State Department to ask for permission, but by that time it had already started constructing these new buildings, remember, without approval, without permission, illegally. When the State Department came to know about these illegal constructions, they sent a notice to Isha Foundation to stop these constructions immediately, but Isha ignored this order. Eventually, in 2012 December, the planning department finally sent a notice to Isha Foundation ordering the demolition of these newly illegally constructed buildings. Isha challenged this order in the court, and as you can guess, the matter is still pending in the court. Let's guess when the last hearing was done of this case. The last hearing was done on April 2014. Interestingly, on May 2014, India got its new government, which is an interesting correlation, but let's not get into conspiracy theories. In 2017, Isha again approached Dhaka to give it approval to give legality to its illegal structure which it had constructed way back from 1994, from the 63,000 square meters to today. Isha asked Dhaka to give it approval. In the same year 2017, the CAG pulled up the state government, the Tamil Nadu government, for not stopping Isha from building the illegal structures. Isha responded to the CAG saying that Isha had applied to Dhaka and already got approval on 16th March 2017, which is not possible because when Isha applied to Dhaka for approval, the then principal chief conservator formed a committee on 17th March to inspect the campus of Isha Foundation, and this committee submitted its report on 29th March. Now please explain to me, how can Isha get permission from Dhaka on 16th March when the committee which was supposed to give it permission was formed on 17th March, and when this committee submitted its report on 29th March? How is that possible? Finally, let's note one more point here. P. Mutammal, Adivasi, filed a complaint against Isha Foundation and especially against the Adiyogi statue, and said that it was built against State Department permission. And interestingly, R. Selvaraj, the Deputy Director Town and Country Planning, said in the court that actually the Adiyogi statue was built without the State Department's permission. Our Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of the country, inaugurated a statue which was built without the State Department's approval, which was allegedly illegal and which is still a part of a legal dispute. How bizarre is that? These were the illegalities in the construction part of Isha Foundation. However, do you remember that I told you at the beginning of this video that the 56.43 crore annual income as showed by Isha is misleading? Well, now let me tell you why. Out of this 56 crore, Isha claims that 35 crore of its money comes from donations. That is 35 crore of donations. Now you should know that donations are exempted from taxes under section 80G of our Income Tax Act. That is, Isha does not have to pay any taxes to the government for the 35 crore donation money. But these donations are a scam. Let me tell you why. Isha sells its services such as meditation techniques, saplings, manures to different customers, but instead of giving them legitimate bills, it gives them donation receipts. Now, as you can understand, these donation receipts also go into Isha's system, and Isha shows the government that it has got a donation of this much rupee for which it does not have to pay taxes. But the truth is that these were actual services which were sold by Isha. This was money which Isha got, on which it should have been taxed, but it is not taxed on that money because Isha shows this money as donations. Let me give you an example. Nagappa Gautam is an organic farmer who bought 14,000 worth rupees saplings from Isha Foundation. Now, if let's say you buy a 14,000 rupees phone from a store, you will then expect a bill worth 14,000 to get, right? Now, instead of this 14,000 rupees bill which Nagappa should have got, this is what he received. This is a donation receipt of 1,242 rupees, which is exempted from taxes under 80G. Isha got a sum of 14,000 rupees, But instead of giving Nagappa a bill of 14,000 rupees, it gave it a donation receipt of 1200 rupees. Now this same donation receipt Isha will show to the government, and the government will think that Isha got a sum of 1200 rupees as a donation from Nagappa, for which it does not need to be taxed, but in truth Isha got a sum of 14,000 rupees for selling saplings, for which it should have been taxed, but it is not taxed because Isha is not showing the truth to the government. This is a huge tax fraud on the part of Isha Foundation, by the way of which it is fooling the government, evading the legal system, and in essence exploiting the common public. While we, the common public, pay our taxes honestly, big companies such as Isha Foundation consistently commit tax frauds, but they are never questioned by the government. This is a clear violation, a clear violation of the dictum of equality before law as enshrined by Article 14 of our constitution. As I said earlier in the video, whether you like Sadhguru or not, whether you abide by his views or not, you cannot change the fact that his company is involved in many illegalities with regard to construction and a rampant use of tax frauds, which it commits on a quite frequent manner. If you like the work that we are doing, please do like this video, please do like our other videos, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon so that you get regular updates on whenever we upload a new video. Thank you so much.